But guys, I'm really excited about today. This is something that today you're gonna see how you can in 13 weeks. By the way, in days, if you want to know, it's 91 days. You can change a lot your financial picture. I'm not saying that you're gonna become millionaire or billionaire or anything like that in 13 weeks, but you are gonna have a strong basis already to keep building your business and reach whatever goal you want. Um, I was inspired to do this after I talked to Jimmy Smith, and actually I was interviewed by somebody is writing a book with Jimmy Smith, and after talking about Jimmy, I said, "Holy cow!" I had to make sure I put up the plan of action that we followed when we started. But anyway, many other reasons also. By the way, we are going to talk about sources also, links that you have to follow in order to get more information. The reason because I don't want to have a webinar that's going to last over 2 hours or anything like that. But anyway, let's start it. Now, what if in 13 weeks your rent mortgage or whatever was paid every month, your car payment would be paid, you have extra money coming for vacations or even more. I'm not saying that you are paying off the mortgage or paying off the balance of your car, but you know that you have extra money that's covering all these areas. What would you do with that extra money? Imagine again, imagine, I don't know how much it's, but now, are you willing to do whatever it takes? Now, I don't know, there is some kind of echo. It's like an airplane is flying really low. Okay, now set up your goals. Now, the attitude that we have to have is, are you willing to whatever it takes? This is so important. This is the mindset that every person that has been successful in any area, it doesn't matter which area, the best, it could be in something like in the job that a person has, or in a big exploration, or creating something new, or even leading a family, or being the best teacher, etc. Are you, in this case, in Isogenes, are you willing to do whatever it takes? When you ask that question and that you live by that every day, I write it down every day. The reason, and I say I write it down, I don't read it, I write it down every day. And the reason is because I want to make sure that I have that attitude every day that I'm going to go for certain goals. But again, imagine that you're going to cover just one of the needs. Could be the mortgage. Let's assume that's $1,500 a month. I don't know. I know it's changed. Some people it's more, some people it's less. Or your car payment could be 500 or more or less. Even if you want to leave your job, how much do you need? Because sometimes really you don't need a lot of money. Now, if you have seen the videos, the ticket 30 days, etc., you know the potential that we have. But now people want to know, okay, but how I can set up something for X period of time, 13 weeks. Let's talk about 13 weeks. Now, this is important. What group are you going to be? Most people do not succeed because they do not have a blueprint or a plan. And this is really important. And this is an example of nice clinics. I would say for every, I'm not exaggerating, for every 200 or 300 people that I meet, only one person has really a plan written of what they are going to do. Only 1 in 2 or 300. And usually those are the ones that are already successful or they are on the way to be successful. Many others fail because they do not follow the plan. And that's something interesting too. Some people have a plan that was given by their upline. They got excited, they write it down, or they create it on their own, but they never put it into action. Now, the successful people have a plan that execute. In other words, they are planning and they're acting every day on this. Now, the plan is really simple. Some of you may say, oh, gee, but I heard that before. Guys, when we hear something before, if we don't apply, it doesn't matter. It's why you're going to hear it over and over again. And by the way, I followed the same plan over and over again. But it requires a minimum of an hour a day. Now, if you say, well, I have only a half an hour, well, why not? Just half an hour is better than an hour. But the idea is an hour a day and doesn't have to be 60 minutes in a row. You can divide it through the day. Follow the same basic system that got Jimmy Smith to millions of dollars. It requires some small changes. And I know when people hear the word changes, they get scared. But guys, in order to get better, we have to get better. In order to change, we have to have changes in our life. We have to change. It requires what I said before, the whatever it takes attitude. This is so important because when we have that attitude, nothing can stop us. Nothing. And I bet you can go back in the past, even recently in many cases, where you have that attitude and you have been able to get something done, something that you wanted to do just because you have that attitude. Make sure you have your personal story ready. See the link to the personal story video that we had about probably about a month and a half ago. It's going to be as soon as this video is published, you're going to have the links to these different videos where you can have more information on how to create your personal story. This is a short video, very powerful. Anyway, the next one, have your list ready. We have talked a lot about the list in different videos. As a matter of fact, we're going to tell you to go back to some of them. But write a list of names. Hit the link for the memory jogger that we have in how to get going. There's a list, a link to the memory jogger. Write a list of the people who say no. This is important. I say no to Jimmy for 10 months. As a matter of fact, a couple of times I told him that he was crazy. I know most people will never call back somebody and say, hey, you're crazy. But he did. And that's why because people say no to you, that doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean, probably what it means is no now, and that's what happened in my case. I do next to your list consistently. Again, see the link to how to do it. We have a webinar that I did about 2 months ago, 2-3 weeks ago, where how never to run out of the list of names. Make sure you open a Facebook account and learn how to increase the size of your list. Also, we have a link provided as soon as this is publishing tomorrow. You're going to see a link about a couple of links on how to do this. We are going to be updating this all the time because new things are coming up on Facebook and also in social media in general. Our business people and networkers use social media, refer us, and ask your downline to find them. Now, I'm going to take a couple of minutes on this part. Social media is the best way. You just in the search box, and I'm not going to show you right now how it works because we have it in other videos. But you can find anybody of any other network marketing company. You just befriend them and you follow the scripts. And that's a way to get networkers. And also business people, the same thing. You look for people that have a large circle of influence. They are business people or first people, etc. Now refer us to a good way and ask your downline to find them. It is interesting because one of the most successful people right now in isogenics, and she earning almost a six-figure with her mom per month. She came because the person that sponsored her was in a meeting where her upline, the person that sponsored her, her upline said, okay, write a list of all the people that are in network marketing that you think that would be, we'll have a chance to talk to them. And this woman wrote a list of about 4 people, and one of them was this woman, Hillary Corney, by the way. She wrote the name of Hillary Corney, and that person was approached, and then a month or so later, she came into the business. And today, her group moves, close to $1 million per month in volume. And she came because the upline asked her, one person, one of the distributors, to write the names of people that were in network marketing. Hillary was one of them. But anyway, this is so important. We have also a link to how to get unlimited names. It's a webinar that I did a couple of weeks ago. Now, review your list every week. You add people, etc. You get business cards, etc. And I'm not going to go into that because we have a whole webinar for this. Now, follow this system daily. And this system, I talk about this all the time. And it's connecting the companies, presenting, and standing up. Now, as I say many times, many people say, yeah, others do the same thing. Yeah, it's just that they don't call it the same way. Everybody call it different. But the fact is that these are the 3 things that are so basic and so important in the game of prospecting. I call it a game of prospecting because it's mostly like a game. If you do this every day, there's no way that you cannot succeed. Now, the daily actions, I know some of you may be doing some of these things. Now, the important thing is not to do some things, but do all the things. And remember, we talk about an hour a day. Now, replace news with positive audio, videos, or books. This is very important. Now, some people are saying, well, I love to watch the 10 o'clock news or 11 o'clock, depending on where you are. I love to wake up in the morning to see what's going on around the world. Guys, it has been proven over and over again that people that tend to watch the news the most consistently tend to get depressed easily, even if we don't feel it, but tend to get depressed easily. Also, it's taking a lot of important time from other things, and I prefer instead having half an hour of news or longer if you are watching the news channel. It doesn't matter if it's CNN or Fox News, both are not the most positive channels. Guys, it's important to replace it with personal development audio, so positive audios or books, etc. This is so important that if you do it for 13 weeks, you're going to notice a huge difference. Now, some people say, yeah, but I want to be informed. I tell you one thing, if something big happens, you're going to find out one way or another one. We don't have to be the first ones. We don't have to be involved in the news or what happened in, I don't know, in Zimbabwe or what happened even next door. We don't want to be involved in those kind of news, especially if they are negative news. Allocate about an hour a day or more for this system, as I said before, and about 20 minutes a day for learning the skills. Now, those 20 minutes, I bet they are going to come from the news or other things that we are doing. Even TV, guys, we probably have to minimize TV if that's the case. That's where the learning is going to come up, and when you're going to learn more product skills, because product skills are necessary. The basics are simple, but the skills are necessary. You learn more about the products, you learn more about the business. Now, be consistent. This is so important, consistency. Now, when we start a project for 13 weeks, if, for example, you miss 1 week, then it's better to start again. And by the way, some people say, gee, but that's like starting over again. Not really, because you already had experience of the prior weeks. Now, if you take the first week, that's different. But anyway, be consistent. Now, also, I say already this, the 20 minutes to review for connect with at least 5 people. Use the script fund and the links. Now, when I say connect, just connect. That doesn't mean presenting anything. And the idea is that you have at least 2 people looking at your tools, looking at the presentation, looking at the videos. This is really important. And again, I know many of you heard this before. Now, many of you are saying, yeah, where I get these names? Remember the list? Just go back to that. By the way, you can print this form that I'm showing right now, this presentation, and you can have the sources. You have the sources on how to get more names. Follow up, preferably in a 3-way call with your upline leader. Follow up is so important, and well, as I said, I terminated clinics after 10 months after Jimmy talked to me, and he was following up with me every week. Now, use the form. Now, let me show you what the form is. First of all, we need a form because it's very important for you to document what you are doing every day. You will know your problems and you can diagnose your business. Also, it's powerful for you with your organization because you can print this form, and then, and by the way, you are going to have a link to print the form tomorrow. You can see, so somebody come to you and the person says something like, hey, the business is not working for me, and you say, well, let me check your activity form. And then you're going to find out why the person is probably not having the success that you wanted. Now, this is a weekly form. Points are provided for each activity. The reason is because each point represents how harder the activity is, how important. I don't want to say harder. Important the activity is. The more points has an activity, the more, obviously, the more important. Like when you sign somebody up with the business pack or the president pack, you have 600 points there for ICDs, also 600 in activity, or 300 in the case of the president pack. And you're going to see that in a second. Also, well, before I go, let me show you what the form is. Okay, let me hold it here. Okay, this is the form. Okay, it's really simple, as you see. You put your name, your telephone number, your email address, the date of the week that you're starting, the rank that you want by earning how much every week, and then team. Now, team. I have teams for one reason. You can team up with somebody that will be your accountability partner, or you can even group people in teams. And then you can say, you can even do competition if you love that. It's why I love to have this part here. Now, here are the basic activities, are the connecting activities. Here are the present activities, the follow-up activities, sign up. The reason I have 100 to 600, I'm going to show you in a second. But you see, each activity has points, 5, 20, 10 points. And then you have it from Monday through Saturday and the total. Now, here I have reading, listen, train. Read, listen, train. Then it goes lower. I'm getting too excited. Read, listen, train. And this is right here. The reason I have this, because this is when you are reading personal development books, you are listening to training or personal development, and you are training yourself. And then this is the last one, rank up. Is when you go up in ranks, or you have somebody that you personally point for going up in ranks. It's really simple. By the way, you can watch this video again if you think there's something that's not really clear. Here, okay, this is where you say, my name, commit to IDs, and then you have the cycles, the context, excuse me, context. These are context. I want to clear at least 10 contacts per week for the next week, and then sign your name. Yeah, context, by the way, contacts, remember. And then you have here the names of people that you're contacting, and you may say, well, what does this mean? These are the follow-up. And by the way, if you have to keep following up, that's okay. You have another form. Now, this that you saw here, let me go up again, sign up. You see 100 to 600 points. These are basically represent the different package. And here, down here, at the bottom of the form, where it's in points, okay, this is at the bottom, you see the different packages and the points that each package has. Really simple. Okay, as you see, it's really simple. This form is so important that you print it out, because if you have something that show you what kind of progress you are having, guys, it's like going to a place that you don't know without GPS or without map. I mean, you must know where you are going and where you were before. It's so important to have this form. I hope this is clear. Now, let's go to the next part. Fast action. I mean, this is the way that you start really quick. Here's a fast way to start. You connect with people, use the scripts, and the scripts they're on the website, and they're going to have the links there. Present. Here I have an example of a script, but we have many other scripts. And then you invite them to watch videos, say something like, Mary, I found a way where you are now together can earn an incredible income, but before I tell you, I want to ask you a favor. I want you to check this short video. If this is something that you like, I would love your opinion. Now, you can share entertainment with my retire with a mental income, or even a webinar presentation. We have a couple of business webinar presentations, one of them by Hillary Corning. And then we follow the script, or better, do it with your upline or on a two-way call. It is that simple. If you think you don't have enough connections, you get into the more endless list. But like, this is so simple. So simple. You're connecting, you're teaching them, you're following. Let it with your upline, and that way you know what to say. Although, again, we have a script in case you have to follow up because you cannot find any of your uplines or leaders in your organization. But you see, this is the screen, and this is something that you do every day. And these are the basics. These are the basics, but again, the basics that you far away. If not, well, anyway, let's ask Jimmy Smith. What you saw was how Jimmy has earned with his family over $20 million in isogenics. This is in a 10-year period, and I think this is some kind of record, because I know a lot of leaders that have been 10 years in companies and 20 years in companies, and they have not earned this kind of money in 10 years. That's why I feel that this is a record. But anyway, he connects, presents, and follow-up every day. He followed up with me for 10 months. This is an example. And not only me, Randall Burt, who is from Montana, he was the person that he's sponsoring his first reentry. He maxed out his reentry. Well, he followed up with Randall for 3 years. Some people say, gee, I don't want to wait 10 months or 33 years. Well, where are you going to be in 3 years? Would you be happy if you know you're adding an extra $700,000 a year? Because that's the minimum that you add when you max out the reentry or a position. He has new people to his list every day, even today. As a matter of fact, I talk to him almost every week, and he sponsors a few really strong leaders in his third entry. He looks for business builders and networkers, and the reason is because these are people that understand about business, and they are not the ones that are going to be complaining about the color of the bubbles or something like that. These are people that they know that business is something that has to be built and doesn't go from 0 to 1 million in 72 hours like many people think. And the way to find the business leaders, again, asking questions and going into social media, etc. Now, he talks business. This is so important. That doesn't mean that he never say anything about the product. When he talks business, he's talking about the potential. He does three-way calls, consistent. He uses okay. Use the tool. This is really important. This is basically the blueprint of what Jesus is doing in people.
George, we're losing your audio. Yeah, we're losing your audio.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, but anyway, again, look at this. This is Jimmy Smith in action. Now, what numbers can you expect? And I'm going to repeat something here that you have seen before, although this is the short version. Building with any package that has a 25 PIB, if you use the toggle bonuses, this is what can happen to you. Now, we were talking about replacing some basic expenses. This can pay probably for a car. That's cool. But this is the most exciting part. Let's go to the next one. After 5 weeks, look what can happen. Over $2,550, and we are not counting the bonuses. This is every week you do the same thing. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a video that shows this is the rest of actually the week that we did 2 weeks ago, last week, 2 weeks ago, I think. The one that showed me the morning, the one that he was Alex was showing on the screen before. But look at this. Even if it takes you longer than that, guys, this is going to cover most people's mortgages and cars at the same time. And even if you're doing it with the President Pack, this is an 80 PIV, or Family Pack. The reason I say Family Pack because some people call it Family Pack. If you are talking to a person that is not a networker, just call it Family Pack. As a matter of fact, that's going to be a new name that's coming up on May 8th. Now, building with the package, this is what you can expect if you become a consultant. If you are already a consultant, still you have the PAB, double PAB, and every time you create a consultant, up to 10, you get 570 plus 2 cycles, is $674. This is really cool. This can happen. This cover a car payment, or some cases even a mortgage, but a car payment in the first month. Now, looking this per week, and I'm going kind of fast here. If you want to see it, there is a presentation that we have talking specifically about this. And but anyway, look at this, and we are not counting the cycles here. Well, here are the cycles, $4,000. You see, guys, this is what you can expect if you follow the system. If you follow this for the next 13 weeks. Now, one more thing, many people get excited, but they get discouraged because they feel lost or alone. And that's why I see so many people starting. Most people don't even go half the 13 weeks, if we are talking about 13 weeks. Many need daily motivation in order to stay in track. Many want interaction with others and share their success and challenges. Many have questions, excuse me. Well, that's a wrong thing. Many have questions during their journey. Now, you can do it by getting together with a group, with 1 or 2 people in your group, and getting together and motivating yourself for the next 13 weeks. Now, something that I just did is I create a group. It's called Only 13 Weeks. This group, when you go there, you are going to there are going to be people that are in a 13-week challenge. By the way, it's interesting. It doesn't matter if you sponsor somebody, for example, in 3 weeks, the 13 weeks will start there. We're going to have ideas. We're going to have videos. I'm going to be posting every day talking about everything that's happening and exciting people. And if you have any questions, you can ask questions. And that's why I create this group. And that way, people that are really committed to the business, they're going to be all the time not only posting there, but inviting their friends. Now, it's interesting because this is a great way to share your thoughts and to ask questions, because I'm sure many of you have asked questions. And the way to get there, by the way, type on the Facebook search, only 13 weeks, has to be part of the 13 weeks group. And that's it. You type only 13 weeks. As a matter of fact, let me go to Facebook because I'm sure. Okay, all right. Hold on a second. Or should only, okay, again, Facebook. Okay, we are going to go on Facebook, and on the top you enter only 13 weeks, and then there is a group. You just, if you want, as soon as you click there, it's going to ask you if you want to be part of the group and to ask to join. That's simple as that. And that's the group, guys. Make sure, if you want to be part of your own 13-day challenge, make sure you do that. Really simple, guys. Guys, I just want to tell you that one of my greatest excitements is when I see people being successful. And I love to teach these webinars. I love to teach and to train people, because I love when people say, wow, that idea changed my life. Now, I see that what happens most of the time is that people see a webinar, they get excited, but then after the webinar, they forget about anything. And that's why we created this only 13 weeks program or group, to make sure that if a person is committed, they can be there asking questions and participating. Now, can you see why you can reach in 13 weeks? Remember, choose your goal, make your list, follow the system, show the business, and persist. And of course, join the group. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say today. I'm really excited, guys, that you are part of this call. And I know many people didn't come with this call, but this call is going to be recorded, and you can ask your friends your team members to watch the call tomorrow when this is recorded. And again, it will be recorded probably in the evening tomorrow with some of the links I told you. But anyway, I'm really excited. And Alex, I don't know if there is anybody asking any questions, because I cannot see anything from here.
No, George, actually, thank you so much. This was a great webinar as always. And, we are all excited. You can feel the excitement all over the, team and so on. As a matter of fact, right now we have on also one of our team members, BDP founder, and she's one of Isagenix Millionaires Woman of the Year and so on. And it's Leanne Jackson who's on with us right now. And I don't know if Leanne has her phone muted out, or let's see, Leanne.
Hey, Leanne. Even if you don't hear me, hi, Leanne. Great to have you on the call and on the webinar, obviously.
Great. And Leanne, by the way, has some people watching with her the webinar, and that's a great idea, for those of you that are watching by yourself. You might as well, when you have these webinars or opportunity webinars or the training webinars, have some team members with you or some guests, so that you can actually see. And then of course we have another BDP team leader, Tracy Larson, and we have Adrian also on the call. So yeah,
we have all the founder leaders.
Yeah. and
cool.
Then of course every single member of the team that's here, is very important. We appreciate you very much that you're taking time to watch this webinar live. And tomorrow, by the way, at the howtogetgoing.com site, we will have the recording, and we'll have those links that George promised you.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy. How are you?
Good. I'd just like to personally say thanks to George and let everybody know how fortunate we are for these two guys, especially Alex and George, because Alex puts a lot of this stuff together, and George is a trainer, and he loves what he does, and he teaches us everything he knows. He don't keep secrets. He spends his hard-earned money and gets these trainings so he can teach us everything he knows. And so if you're not getting on this webinar, boy, you're missing out on some really good stuff. So be here every week, and thanks so much to Alex and George.
Thank you. And thank you, Alex, too.
It out.
Hey, Leanne, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry, there was some noise here, so I wanted to be muted. But I just want to throw in here to the pot. I was on the phone with Jimmy Smith today, and we were talking about George. And George, as you know, Jimmy just absolutely loves you, and it's clear the reason that he loves you so much, and it's because you share the heart of Isagenix, just like he teaches and just like he does, and that's duplication at its best. So I told him that I would probably be talking to you today or tomorrow, and he sends love.
Thank you, Leanne, and great having you on the call, because for those of you that don't know Leanne very well, I mean, she's not only an amazing leader, but she's an amazing trainer. And when you have the chance to go to the How to Get Going, look for her webinars. She's an amazing trainer, and in person, actually, she's even way more powerful, obviously, because in person is easier to see her body language, the way that she talks, and the enthusiasm that she put out. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you, George.
And
thank you, Alex.
She's one of the millionaires, obviously. She's one of the millionaires in Isagenix, for those of you that don't know.
But by the way, thanks to all of you for being here. But, since you're here, we do have a question from one of our team members. And Jordan wanted to know, how do I convert a preferred customer to an associate? Just since we got you guys, you millionaires here, what's your advice on that?
Show them the money.
Yes.
Jordan's slides that he just showed is a perfect example of, showing somebody, how they can cover a bill or a car payment or a house payment or a dream vacation payment, and Adrian's training, a few weeks ago, was amazing, because it really helps a person to think about, what if. And I think that's really the best way. We can't talk people into anything, but we sure can show them what their options are. And when you find out what someone's dreams are, and then you show them exactly just how George has got it on the screen now. He's showing you right here how to do it. Show them how to get to the money so that they can see it and believe it. And when they start to believe it, then they're going to move forward. Who in the world that would understand or could understand this would ever want to be just a product user? I don't know anybody. It just doesn't make any sense. And there you go, $350 in the first week. I mean, isn't that exciting? A lot of people aren't making that in their jobs after 10 years doing that. Doing that job. So this is great to see the numbers, George. Thank you so much. And
you're welcome.
That's my 2 cents on how to bring him about.
You know that there is a woman, Lisa DeMayo, that she's also from New York, as a matter of fact. She was telling us that many of the people that she's talking to never been in neural marketing, and what she said is something like, it's been proved that when you have 2 people doing the products with you, you have better results. And by the way, when you do that, the company is going to send you back at least $150. Everybody. She said, I don't have one person that doesn't say, oh, gee, I'm going to find those 2 people. Because they're getting that money back. And she said, oh, by the way, you're getting a gift card, a Visa card, where they have the money. And when all those 2 guys, if they bring 2 people with them too, because they want to share their experience, they get $200 or more. You get $200 or more back. That means that you get about $350 back. And she said that the excitement is amazing. It's no wonder she had 9 executives in a 7-month period, because and so many consultants. I don't remember how many consultants she had, but something like 29 or 30, something like that. A huge number, an amazing number. But it's because that. But it's true, as Leanne said. I mean, somebody said, "Well, I'm gonna get $150. Okay, how do I do that?"
George, take this training that you did tonight, which showing the numbers. I always think that's phenomenal. I love to see that. And then listen to Kathy Coover's How to Make a List training. Do that with a person that you're wanting to convert from a product user to a business builder, and that will just really get them excited because they'll see that it's doable, and the fact that they're in business not by themselves, for themselves, but not by themselves. I think it's huge that they see this team, invite them onto this call. There's lots of different ways to convert people, but I think the most important thing is for people to understand that they can do this, and these slides show you how simple it can be.
Yes. By the way, something that you say is so important. I forgot that some of the calls, before I joined Oncogenics, I listened to several calls that were training calls. Mm-hmm. It's not necessary that a training call. The cool thing about bringing a prospect is that the prospect says something like, wow, there is support there. I like that. Yeah.
Wait, thanks for the answer on that. And my take, I just want to quickly point out how I convert my preferred customers into associates is whenever I do my follow-up to see how the product is working for them, what can I do to help them, what other products I can show them that could help them achieve their goals. I always ask, well, now that you have used the products, would you like to get them for free? And that's when and so far nobody has ever told me no. And that's where I start bringing in the possibilities in there. So great. We are again, past our time here, and I don't know, George, if you want to just do some closing comments.
I just want to say, well, it's important just to get your people to listen to the different training that we have, like Leanne was saying. And guys, if you follow this and you participate also in the group, and the participation is mostly because for you guys, because you are gonna have questions, etc. You participate, you follow these things for the next 13 weeks. I mean, you are gonna have an incredible success, because after those 13 weeks are over, then you start another 13 weeks at a different level, and then at a higher level, and then at a higher level, and eventually you're going to see yourself in positions, incredible positions. You're going to be changing your life for the best.
Well, great advice, George. Thanks, Leanne. Thanks, each and every single one of you that joined us, Adrian, Tracy, and all the rest of the team. So see you then next week, and watch for our recorded link with all the forms and links that will be at the post tomorrow at the howtogetgoing.com website. Have a great evening.
Thanks, George. Thanks, Alex.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Leanne. Everybody. Bye.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.